Very good morning, children. I'm back again with English recorded classes, and this is Ma'am Anna, your English teacher. Children, please listen carefully to what is being said now. I know most of you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, but I request you all to watch the video only when I have updated it in the group. Why? Because the moment I upload it on YouTube, you all get notification and immediately you all watch the video. That's good. But at the same time, the next day when I'm uploading it in the group and when I'm asking you all questions, you all answer immediately the moment the video is uploaded, which is incorrect, isn't it? So I want you all to watch the video completely once it is uploaded in the group and then answer your questions. If not, your answers will be invalid. Very clear, children? Once again, a request, please watch the video only when it is uploaded in the group. Now, are we ready for today's session then? Let's get started. Look at this picture, children. What do you notice? One side, we see that we have plants which are growing. On the other side, we see that the tree is crying. One side the tree is happy, the other side it is shedding tears, isn't it? Children, just a few words before we start off today's class. From the very beginning, plants have grown and it become trees, and trees have given us food and oxygen, isn't it? The essential things in life. Not only these two things, but also because of trees we get home, medicines, food and many other tools to stay on this earth. But today, due to the growing population worldwide and the cutting of trees by people, the requirement of trees is increasing. Due to the lifespan of this modern era, humans are cutting trees very quickly. Why are they cutting off trees, children? Because wherever trees are grown, they started building houses. Due to which, man have to undergo many difficulties in their coming years. Plants are an essential part of every society. In our nearby places like streets, parks, playgrounds, trees and plants provide us air and keep the environment green and clean, isn't it? Correct? And sometimes it is always calm, and when you are sitting in a park with lot of trees around, the fresh air that you get, we sit and relax ourselves, isn't it, children? But the atmosphere around the trees remain beautiful and clean, by which the level of living is increasing. So what we say is, we would like to say, please save trees. Do not cut it off for your use. So let's see what this is going to teach us in today's lesson. Let's get started for today's lesson then. Today's content is as follows. I'll be starting off with a new chapter, which is the great spirit of the sal tree. I will read the lesson for you all. I will explain the lesson for you all. We'll look into some vocabulary, that is few antonyms and few past tense from the lesson. Then of course comes my turn to ask you all questions, and finally we will summarize all what we have learned. Okay? Children, let's start off with the new lesson then. The great spirit of the sal tree. Turn to page 56 in your literature book and please toss your fingers through while I am reading. Once upon a time, a king of North Indian kingdom wanted to build a palace more remarkable than any other in the country. He could not make it richer, taller, stronger, or beautiful without great expense and trouble. So he decided to make it special in another way by setting the whole palace upon a single wooden column, a column carved from one of the biggest trees in his kingdom. He sent for his ministers and said, "Send men to my forests far and near, and tell them to cut down and bring to the city without delay the mightiest tree they can find." 30 foresters were dispatched, but they soon returned, saying that though there were many trees equally strong and gigantic in the king's forest, turn to page 57, children, they could never carry or drag them over the difficult terrain that lay between the forests and the city. The king heard this, but later he sent for the foresters again. By means of horses, "One of these trees must be brought here," he said. "It's not possible," they said. "No horse could move such a tree even an inch." "By means of bullocks then," he said. "The bullocks could not possibly force their way through miles of such dense forest." "By means of elephants then?" "It is hardly possible, for the ground is so marshy that the elephants would sink to their knees in it." Children, we'll stop till here for today. I have read the lesson for you, isn't it? I want you all to read the way I did with intonation, children. Okay? And also mark all the new words that you find in pencil in the reader itself. Alright? Children, did you all understand anything from what I read? No? It's okay. Don't worry. I'm here to explain the lesson for you all. Once upon a time, there was a king of North Indian Kingdom. So we don't know the name of the king. They haven't mentioned, and they have not mentioned which part of the country as well. They have just mentioned North Indian Kingdom. So I've just put up a picture of a king. Now what this king wanted to do was, he wanted to build a palace which was more beautiful than anyone else in his country. So he wanted to make it richer, taller, stronger, but he knew that if he does that, it would cost him more and too much of work as well. So what he decided, that he wanted to do the interior decoration, or he wanted to build his palace with trees. Okay, so what he did, he called his ministers and told them, "Send as many people as you can to the forest, to all the forests that we have." And he said, "Bring a huge tree, the most big and the most strongest and the most beautiful of all." So he wanted to build his palace with wooden column. Now what is a column? It's a pillar. So with wooden pillars, I put up a picture. It's something like this. These are wooden pillars. So he wanted to build up wooden pillars with only wooden pillars. Then the poor people and all his men went, and they saw, but they couldn't drag them. They found the tree, but they couldn't drag them. So then what they did was, they came back to the palace and told that they couldn't drag it at all because the trees were very huge and heavy. And so the king was a little upset. He said, "Okay, send the foresters again. This time, not only men, but let them take the horses as well." So, and then he said, "What you all do, I don't know, but I want the trees to be brought here." So then the poor men, no other choice, they had to listen to the king, isn't it? So they went again, and they came back again. They said, "It's not possible to move an inch as well by the horse. Then the king asked, what about bullocks? Okay, we'll bring it with the help of bullock carts. And then he said, the bullocks could not possibly force their way through the miles of such dense forest, because the forest is very huge, and even if you send the bullocks and the bullock cart as well, the bullocks and the cart together, they will not be able to do that, because the forest is very far and we will not be able to do that. Then he asked, what about elephants then? Then he said, it is not possible, because the ground is so marshy. What do you mean by the word marshy, children? Anyone? Marshy means a ground that is wet. Okay, so what they said was, the ground is wet, and the poor elephant, the moment they keep their leg in this forest, they would sink to their knees, which means that they will fall down to the knees. So I thought till here, isn't it interesting? Let's see what happens later. Do they bring the trees? Did they find one? Or what? We'll look at in the next class, children. Now let's look at some vocabulary. Here are some past tense for you all from the lesson. Build, built. Send, sent. Cut, cut. Bring, brought. Lay, laid. Hear, heard. Force, forced. Sink, sank. Children, I know you all know these past tense, but still this will be just a brush up for you all, so that you will learn it even more better. Let's look at some antonyms now. What antonyms? Antonyms means opposites. True, false. Accept, refuse. Dissuade, persuade. Domestic, international. Rejected, accepted. Liking, hatred. And now comes question time, the most important slide for me. Are you all ready for questions? Do you have a pen, a book handy for you to jot down the questions? Alright. What is the meaning of column? What is the meaning of column? And what is the meaning of gingitic? What is the meaning of gingitic? Now, where did the king live? Where did the king live? And what he wanted to do? The last question, what he wanted to do. Now, I want you all to write the answers and send it to me. I want everyone to at least give a try to answer the questions. Alright, let me see who will be the first one to get a round of applause in the group. Let's quickly summarize all what we have learned today then. We started off with a new chapter, which is the great spirit of the sal tree. I did read the lesson for you all on page 56 and 57. I also explained the lesson for you all with pictures, and we also looked into some past tense and opposites, isn't it? Then I did ask you all questions as well. Hope you all have understood the lesson, children. And now comes the last part of our session, which is the assignment. Children, I want you all to write the past tense and the antonyms, which is in the video, twice in your homework book and learn. Once again, I am repeating. Please write the past tense and the antonyms twice in your homework book and learn, so that it will be easy when you're writing your test. Alright? So until we meet in the next session, this is Ma'am Anna signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.